Day 112 or 112, the author tries to explain it about who all might miss the Supreme. So, what qualities in us would keep us away from the divine? Or which lifestyle makes us tamasic and puts us down from the paradise? So, here it is. Adhimūಢatya dhrūಢbuddhi asena adhikamatya ramachinti vasena adhilobhatya shobhoila jana adhivichayi sarvada dainyavana. So, the last is Ati Vikayi Sarvada Dainyavana. He says, so those people who are always seeking the pleasures of the physical body filled with flesh and blood, trying to go with what you call rupturing of the bodies and exchanging of the fluids in different forms. This is Dainyavana, they are the most pitiable ones. When Sarvada at all times. Why? Because instead of going or diving deep within, they are at the superficial levels of the physical pleasures. Vishayi, it is Ati Vishayi Sarvada Dainyavana. It says Ati, a person who is too much involved in the physical pleasures. So he says, don't starve to death, my dear friend. But let there be moderation into it. Let there not be forgetting all the ethos of life and live an animalic instinct. But let us be calculative and judicious in our actions. And first one, Adhi Mudatya Dudha Vasena. Again, you see, here and there we become dim, isn't it? We become feeble, we yield. So he says, in such cases, a person who is feeble and is not strong in resolve, who loses reasons in life and who is dim-witted, then it is difficult. In the sense, these two are contrary. A sharp razor-like intellect cannot be dull. A dull mind cannot seek God. But of course, each one of us will be traveling in between SRT. Sattva, Rajo, Tamo Gunas. At times will be Tamasic, at times will be Rajasic, at times will be Sattvic. It's a combination of all these three. So we get confused. What is my nature? My dear friends, take as absolute majority. Absolute majority in the sense, see, whichever is 51% in you, which single quality is of minimum 51% in him, that is your basic nature. It is not like our hung parliament, my dear friends. You see, here we see none of the parties get majority. All in their 20s and 30s, and they rule the government. Understand then how many people are against them? More than 50% are against the ruling government. The government has united and formed with 20 plus with 21 plus 30, it has become 51. But understand, it is not 51, it is against. 50% is against them still, and in this 21, 30% is against them, and in 30%, 21% is against them. So the majority is against the ruling party itself. Think. You see, it's not forming a party with allied group and sitting and ruling, because in the allied group, the people are split. Though the ruling party is 51%, comprising of two parties of 21 and 30, but in that, if for the 21%, 50 plus 30 is against, because already we know 50 is already against, and for the 30, 50 plus 21 is against. And that is how we rule. Think. So here, in your SRT, Sattva, Raja and Tamo Gunas, which single is occupying 51%, that is your nature. Equipoise, equibalance, 33%, I maintain. Very good. But try to then increase the tamas to rajas and accelerate the rajas and promote the rajas to sattva and make predominant. This is what it is. Next. Ati kamatya ramachitti vasena. It says, kama, desire of possessing things. Ati, a person who has, it have basic desires, I don't say, oh. You say, have basic desires, but more than that. Why? Think. And to him, a person who is more desirous, Rama Chitti Vasena. So Rama doesn't live in his heart and mind. Vase na vasati, doesn't live chitti in the heart or in the mind. Who? Sree Ram. A over desirous person has no place for divinity and spirituality, because he is engrossed and entangled in the materialistic world. For example, if you have something in your hand, in your face, and if I give you something, you should leave the thing in your hand and grab what I give, isn't it? Don't try to answer smart, sir, I take it from my left hand. Analogy has its own limitations. Don't extend it. So similarly here, until and unless you give up this, you can't hold on to that. It's not to say that don't have zero desire. That is difficult. In this material world to live, you have to balance. Yes, house, basic is not accumulating for generations together and failing on your sadhana. I tell you, excessive things are destructive. Now, if you look at the war, excessive ammunition, they don't know how to use it. So they go on to the neighboring land. Okay? At times, choices becomes a problem. If you have too many, then you get confused, because when you don't have a clarity, because as we have seen in the previous line, if the resolve is not strong, if the mind is dull-witted, then it is difficult and you can't resolve, you can't decide what to do, what not to do. You can't be firm. You say, okay for this, okay for that. For example, I know people who give appointment for 10 people at the same time in 10 different locations. My dear friends, it's not online. If it's online, okay. Offline. Next, desire is over. Next one. Ati lobatya shobha hoi na jana. He says, then much of greed. Desire is one thing, greed is one thing. Greed is grabbing. Much of greed. To him, a person who is greedy, Shobha, he will be sorrowful. Hoina becomes undoubtedly he will be sorrowful. A person who has too much of greed, he will be sorrowful because all his efforts will be only to fulfill the greed. A person who is desirous will not have space in his heart to adhishan to make Sree Ram sit. Greed. Earlier we have seen what qualities we should have. Around 30 qualities we have covered. Now we are seeing what we should not have. And you know, Ati Vishayi Sarvada Dainyavana, those people who are entangled with physical pleasure, then they'll be pitiable. So stay put, try to keep away from these qualities of what you call being non-resolving in nature, having dull or gloomy mind, over greedy, desirous, and having sexual, sensual, physical pleasures. Try to be away from them. I don't say be away from them till we meet next forever. Thanks for being.